What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Shadow Creators Entertainment. I'm your host, Shadow King, and 9 weeks and What If is finally done. We are here at the end of season 1, and like I predicted when the show first came out, I absolutely freaking loved this series. A animated series set in the MCU is something I've been wanting for a very long time now. And this experiment, this show showcasing the inventive ideas, the great action, great writing, gives me hope for more other animated series set in the MCU in the future. It also will provide a way for actors and characters who are dead or who have actors that have been gone to come back in different ways like they did in this series. So yeah, no. But that's not what we're here for right now. I'll make those pictures later. That would be a cool video. No, we're going to talk about episode 7 through 9. The What If Thor Was an Only Child, What If Ultron won, and the finale, What If the Watcher Broke His Oath. Before we dive in, guys, make sure you leave a like, share the video, let your friends know, and we're going to hop right into this right now. Episode 7. What If Thor Was an Only Child? I'm not going to spend that much time on this video. This is the Party Thor episode. Woohoo. That's it. No, seriously, this episode was a lot of fun. It's one of those calm before the storm episodes. Lots of fun cameos. Great fight scenes between Captain Marvel and Thor. Party Thor is just the funnest guy, and his relationship with Loki in this series, in this universe, who, by the way, it finally appears as a Jotun, as an ice giant. And I just hit the mic. And it's just super, super awesome. There was something that's only really been alluded to in the Loki series, like a small picture, but nothing that ever has actually happened until now. So, and then yeah, like I said earlier, the Captain Marvel versus Thor fight was absolutely spectacular. I mean, they were throwing both. That's like a DBZ level fight in the MCU. I mean, we haven't really seen something like that. We've seen some great action scenes. Don't get me wrong. But the martial arts and the filming inside this series, well, not filming, but like the choreography and how they film it, I mean, it's among some of the best animated action I've seen in a very, very long time. And I'm even chalking that up to like stuff like Young Justice and the DC animated movies choreography. You know, it's some great action, great martial arts. But yeah, and then of course the ending reveal of Ultron Infinite, or is it Infinite Ultron? One of them, I don't know. But yeah, it was among one of the best reveals of the series, right up there with like Zombie Thanos, and which leads us into the next episode. Like I said, not spending too much time on this one. We're gonna hop right into the next episode, episode 8, after this small break. And we're back. All right. So sorry, had to take a water break. So episode 8. What if Ultron won? No, writers, guys who produce the show. You know what you should have named the episode. We all know what you should have named the episode. It should have been, what if Age of Ultron was actually the Age of Ultron? Look. The second Avengers movie is fine. It's great. It gives us some Hulkbuster and some great stuff. It's a good movie. It's not a bad movie. Not a bad movie at all. However, the Age of Ultron only lasted like a week instead of, a long time and having to like. Okay, I know they couldn't technically do a real Age of Ultron, like kill all the humans, kill all the Avengers, have like a last little ragtag team fighting in live action. Fine. We got what we got. It's fine. But like I say, having an animated series, no boundaries, no contract disputes, none of that. You can do pretty much whatever you want, and they did that and gave us a universe where Ultron won. He got his consciousness loaded into Vision, killed Tony, Cap, Hulk, and Thor, and the world by launching the nukes, because that was a plot in this movie. He was trying to get nukes, and Jarvis was stopping him. But once he became Vision, or got the Vision body, that was it. He couldn't be stopped, and he launched the nukes. And Black Widow and Hawkeye survived because they were in the Quinjet. And the episode opens up with, just Black Widow and Hawkeye trying to find. They're in Russia trying to find information on something. We find out that they're looking for Arnim Zola, which they find information because he's in the computers in the Siberia base that we see in Civil War. Now, this makes huge implications for the MCU as a whole. We initially thought Arnim Zola, after he got blown up in Winter Soldier, that was it. We would never see Arnim Zola face, body on the machine, all this stuff. We would never see it. But if that's the case, now mind you, don't forget that base, the base in Siberia, that wasn't destroyed. Yeah, it had one of the most epic fights and epic two old men beat down a guy in a tin can fights, but it wasn't destroyed. It was left intact. So in the live action MCU, Arnim Zola could still be brought back. Toby Jones is still doing his thing, and it'd be great to see him back. I mean, he came back for the voice of this, so it's possible that we can finally get like a resurgence of Hydra back in the MCU, led by Arnim Zola. It would be so good. Like, I mean, we're doing new Cap movies, so bam, there you go. Like, it's so many different ways they can do it. So I might actually do a separate video of that later when I get some time. But yeah, so Arnim Zola's back, baby. And what they do, they threaten him with water on his last databanks, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll help you, whatever. And he gets uploaded to a USB era. We've seen that in Avengers 1. And this Hawkeye, he's missing an arm. He's kind of reminiscent of the Dark Knight Returns, Oliver Queen, where he's got like that one he didn't just have an arm, but this one has like a robot Ultron arm that he uses. It actually increases his power and accuracy, and you can kind of tell he's tired of fighting. I mean, first thing he said when he saw the nukes launch was Laura, thinking about his wife and his family, and we get like these little hints of, look, he's giving up trying to find this stuff on Arnim Zola. He's not as jovial as normal, and I mean, why would you be? Everyone's dead. And so he's kind of lost himself, kind of lost his will to live and fight, and that results in honestly one of the most beautiful scenes I've seen in a very long time. Like, the way they made this shot happen. So they got the Zola algorithm loaded into an Ultron bot, trying to escape out of the missile hatch that we saw the fight in Civil War, and they have a whole army of sentries, because at this point Ultron is out in space, and he's actually, I haven't even talked about Ultron yet. Okay, look, side tangent. I'll go back to the beautiful scene in a minute. But yeah, Ultron, he goes and kills Asgard, Xandar, Ego, the Sovereign. He even destroys Captain Marvel in the core of Xandar, which explodes and kills like 4 of the different planets. And finally he's like, okay, cool, I don't have a purpose now, everyone's dead. And then the Watcher starts talking, and because everything is just so quiet, so peaceful, he's able to hear the Watcher from his universe. And he turns around, he's like, I see you. The Watcher's like, what the hell? It's so good. Jeffrey Wright sells that so well. And so, like, he finds a way and breaks into the Watcher's, like, universe, or his pocket dimension or whatever. And they actually fight. Like, the Watcher throws hands. Now, I've seen, like, parts where I think it was the Ultimate Alliance game where like the Watcher like tries to fight Dr. Doom, but it was just like here's a blast and then you put it back in my face. No, this Watcher was throwing bows. He was throwing. He's got his ass whooped, yeah, but because this is the Ultron that has all the Infinity Stones after he killed Thanos with like a bisection, or he cut him in half or whatever. But yeah, he's got all the Infinity Stones, and he's not able to like just outright kill the Watcher. They actually go back and forth, another like DBZ style fight, and just throwing bows, and then Watcher gives himself armor, and he still gets beat down. And like they fall into a universe where Steve Rogers is becoming president, and the Ultron just has him on the ground. He's just beating him, and every time he hits him, it changes universes. Like that's how powerful Ultron is. He changes universes. He beats him. He beats him. He beats him. At one point, he goes like full Galactus and goes like just gigantic and actually bites and destroys an entire galaxy. I want to say. I don't think it was the universe at that point. I think it was just the galaxy. I don't know. Might be wrong. But like, this Ultron is balls. He's power. He's super powerful, and it eventually goes to where the Watcher escapes and he goes to see Doctor Strange from episode 4, Strange Supreme, where he's locked in his thing. He's like, "Look, you want me to say it? Fine. I need your help." And that's how the episode ends. But rewind back to the beautiful scene. So, yeah. Ultron's off world doing this thing, fighting the Watcher. These gigantic army of sentries are about to kill Hawkeye and I also say Wanda, Hawkeye and Widow. And as Widow's escaping, they pull like a reverse of Vormir, where she catches Clint. He's like, "Look, I'm tired of fighting. I told you I was. Survive, go." And he falls. And I gotta say, his fall is a lot cooler than Natasha's. I mean, Natasha saved the world, saved the universe. Don't get me wrong. But Hawkeye falls. The scene jumps out where he fires an arrow. The tip of it glows orange. He fires it into one encroaching sentry, and you see this wide shot of Hawkeye aiming the arrow, aiming his bow like he just fired the arrow. You see the one Ultron sentry in the middle, and like the whole horde at the bottom. It's a really, really beautiful, well done scene. I love it. Like I'm probably gonna make that like a cover photo or wallpaper. It's just really, really cool scene. I really enjoyed it. And I think it was a nuke arrow. I mean, that's pretty no, okay, it couldn't have been a nuke because I don't think Widow would have survived that. But pretty big bomb arrow. It blows up, and that's the end of Hawkeye in the universe. Now, Black Widow is the sole survivor on this Earth. Now, they don't actually get. I need to go look up and see what these Earths are. Like what their numerical designation are. There's always a numerical designation. Like I'll probably look those up later. But yeah, she's it. That's it. She's done. She is the sole survivor, and the episode ends with, you know, like I said, the Watcher asking Doctor Strange for help. This being a penultimate episode, whoo boy, and it beautifully led into episode 9. Now, before we get into episode 9, I will say, yes, there is an episode missing. Originally, this was supposed to be a 10 episode series, and the episodes are actually supposed to be about 40 minutes, or 40 to 45 minutes instead of the 30 we got. So that's where we were at. I think that it has some stuff to do with COVID or something like that. I don't really know. Would I love to see the full series? Yeah, but one of the episodes did get pushed back to episode 2, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So, we're gonna take another quick break, and we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And finally, the season 1 finale. What if the Watcher broke his oath? Man, okay. So I knew the whole Guardians of the Multiverse thing was going to happen. That was kind of like the premise of, you know, teasing us when the show was starting to come out. Fine. We see the Watcher basically going through and pulling a Coulson and Nick Fury, like, hey, you've been chosen. But instead of, just driving all across the world and picking up these heroes, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pop in your universe. I'm gonna like pick you up by hand or transport you to this place because I'm all powerful. I can do that. So we catch up with Captain Carter. She's in the middle of like the beginning of Winter Soldier, going on a mission to stop the Lemurian Star and Batroc the Leaper. Her outfit is the stealth suit, but with the Union Jack. It's so good. She looks great. Really, really hope we can see live action Captain Carter in Multiverse of Madness. But anyway, she's fighting Batroc, and she looks up, she's a watcher, and he's like, yeah, Captain Carter, you've been chosen. Boom. We switch over to episode 2, and it shows T'Challa, Star-Lord saving Peter Quill and blowing up the avatar of Ego at that point. Which, I mean, I'm glad we got these little like tidbits of where everyone's at in the story, but by the time they get chosen, of course, T'Challa, Star-Lord gets chosen, he gets picked up. Then you see he picks up Killmonger in his universe, and that played out exactly like I knew it would. Killmonger got the suit. He's standing at the end of his episode. He's standing, in Wakanda and looking at the sunset and all that stuff. This one picks up with Shuri and Pepper and Dora Milaje heading to the throne room. You see everything in Wakanda's on fire. I don't see the king or queen anywhere, so it's assumed that he finally made his play, killed the royal family, and has taken over as king basically. And they were going to kill him, and the Watcher was like, "Hey, protege of Tony Stark and his killer, you've been chosen." And the way he looks at him like, I don't trust this dude, but that's part of my plan, so here we go. And they also pick up out of nowhere randomly, because this episode was, again, like I said, pushed back into season 2. They pick up, what are we calling her? Gamora? Thanos Gamora? Whatever. They pick up Gamora, and she's got her armor. She's got the dual blade sword that Thanos has. Apparently in this universe, she killed him, or it's possible that, because Tony Stark is there in like a Sicarian style Iron Man suit, and I believe the theory is that he either got trapped on the other side of the wormhole from the first Avengers movie and went and eventually made it to Sakaar, and somehow they met up there because his nuke actually killed Thanos, who was on the ship. I don't know. We'll just have to wait to see the episode, so I'm really excited how they play that out. But anyway, he picks up Thanos, Nora, whatever. Let's see. That's Captain Carter, Star-Lord, Nora, Killmonger. Doctor Strange is already there. Oh, and yeah. Then they pick up Party Thor. Here, and literally, when I say pick up, the Watcher is trying to be like, oh yeah, Thor, Odinson, you've been chosen. And Thor's just like beating Ultron sentries, whatever, da-da-da-da. He's like, okay, screw this. He literally just picks him up like King Kong picks up the woman. It's hilarious. And he's screaming, and they go to this pub, and they explain. And like, I'm glad that they didn't just like, oh, okay, well, we accept, and they just throw him right into the battle. No, they accept the mission that's put in for them. Hey, we need you to stop this threat that's going to kill all the universes. We need you to stop it. They accept, but they also take time to plan. They're drinking. Thor gets an infinite drink where he still smashes the bottle. The glass, even though it refills itself, he still smashes it. But they're sitting there eating Chinese food. They're planning. You see these little subtle hints of Killmonger looking at the Ultron head that Thor brought with him, and you just know they're setting up for his betrayal. You can see it. It's obvious. It's obvious. And so like they finally plan. They get their plan. They go to this universe where there's not much life. And Doctor Strange is setting up wards and everything, and they have like these little moments of getting to know each other. You got Peggy and Steven talking. She's like, "Hey, so what happened to you?" He's like, "Same thing that happened to you, love." He's like, "Oh, even he knows that how we feel about Peggy and Cap feels." I'll get to that in a minute. But yes, and then Gamora is looking at Killmonger like, "Yeah, I don't trust this dude." She asked Thor, she's like, "Hey, you trust him?" He's like, "I trust everybody. I'm Party Thor." Woohoo! And they have a drink, and Doctor Strange just conjures up a whole tray of different drinks and stuff, and they're all having a good time. And he gives them Vishanti protection spells, which are a lot more powerful than the one Wong gave the actual Doctor Strange. So, yeah, we'd like to see that in live action. That'd be really cool. But yeah, Party Thor's like, okay, hey, I told y'all I gained big attention. He's like, hey, people, Las Vegas, or something. He powers a big lightning storm, and then Ultron's like, oh, hey, there's still life here. Oh, huh. Well, how about that? And then Thor's like, they're like, hey, we have a plan where Gamora and Thanos, Gamora and Killmonger hop off to prep for their plan. They have something called the Infinity Crusher from Gamora's universe, and the rest stay to fight. Thor's like, screw the plan. I'm Thor. I'm Party Thor. He does a huge lightning blast. He's like, normally in the comics or in the TV shows, he goes like, for Midgard or for Asgard, which is something I've been wanting him to say in the MCU for a long time. But no, he doesn't even say that. He says this: Viva Las Vegas! And I'm like, bro, what? And even Ultron's like, I never heard that battle cry before, but okay, all right, we're doing this. And he destroys the ground that they're stepping on. Really cool scenes here. You get him throwing the hammer, and Doctor Strange multiplying it, and just like he's using his magic to the full. Like, Doctor Strange is the most powerful member of this team, hands down. No one else is touching him. So he's sitting there multiplying the hammer. He's sitting there enhancing Peggy's shield when she gets like thrown up there to do like a hit on him. Like his protection spells are actually protecting them when they get damaged, like to where they should be dead. It's just so good. Like, he's just flaunting like 10% of his power. And I'm like, bro, you got so much more, and you're not even using it to full extent yet. But yeah, like the fight scene, like action, great. They eventually get T'Challa to steal the Soul Stone. All they need to steal was just one. They stole it. Their plan complete. They head out to the rendezvous point, which is Ultron's home universe. If you didn't figure out the plan by now, it's obvious what they're setting up. So yeah, and then to distract him, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna open up the portal," and the zombies fly out. And continuity error, because you got Cap, Falcon, and Hawkeye who just fall down. Now Hawkeye was still a zombie, yeah, but last time I checked, Cap got cut in half, and so did Falcon. But they're the first ones you see when they open up the universe. It's weird. Whatever. They're not the main course anyway. The main course of this one is seeing zombie Wanda, who's still just as powerful, blasting off Ultron. She probably could have taken him out, but she stops for whatever reason. I think it's because like she sees like the red underneath and sees that it's Vision. She has like I don't know actually know why she really stopped, but plot purposes. Woo. Anyway, Ultron's like, okay, enough of this. Blows up, I think, the universe. I think he blows up that particular universe. Like just snaps, it's done, whatever. And then he goes back into his home one where they're finally together, all assembled. Black Widow was there. She's like, hey, until a couple days ago, I was the only one alive on this planet. What the hell are y'all doing here? And like, Peggy has to talk to her because in her universe, her and Black Widow are actually like best friends or getting there, whatever. And she explains, like, look, 3 people in the universe you trust. I'm lucky enough to be one of them. We need your help. And then Ultron comes in, and they have a really. You guys know how much I love the one take scenes or the one track scenes in the MCU, and they do one in animation where they all run up on Ultron and they're just all fighting. They're all doing their unique stuff, and it's all one long take. And then the take switches from focusing on them actually attacking Ultron to the Soul Stone gets knocked out of somebody's hand. You focus on the Soul Stone, and you still hear the fighting, and you see people get knocked down and pushed back, and Ultron steps and almost gets it, and Peggy almost grabs it. Beautiful, beautiful scene. Love that. And so it all comes down to Ultron figuring out that, hey, these protective spells aren't really doing much to... I can't kill y'all, I don't know why. Doctor Strange, you're too powerful. Let's fight. And he grows big, and Doctor Strange lets out the Shuma-Gorath part of his absorption. Captain Peggy's like, wait, what? I know that one. And so he brings him down. They fight him. They get the Infinity Crusher on him. Doesn't work. And he's like, yeah, no, look, the Infinity Stones are unique. They can't be destroyed in a universe that's not their own. I'm gonna talk about that later, because that's like one of the issues I have. I know they had to do it for the particular story they were trying to tell, but that breaks like the actual rules for the Infinity Stones that we've seen they have set up in the comics. So I'll talk about that later. Probably not this video, but I'll talk about it eventually. Okay. So yeah. He's about to destroy, like I say, he's trying to kill Doctor Strange because he's the most powerful one. Peggy and Widow get blasted back, and then they're like, "Hey, we have a plan. You see the USB arrow?" And she's like, "Can you give me distance and an up close shot?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you." And you see them doing their respective things. Captain Peggy's just running up buildings and jumping up high, and you see Widow on her motorcycle. She gets that final shot. Captain Carter lifts up his plate mask, and the USB arrow goes right into Vision Ultron's eye. And then Arnim Zola takes over. Oh my god, like, okay, yeah, he won. Boom. They defeat Ultron. He's being, taken over by the Arnim Zola algorithm. Everyone's like, oh, so it's over now? And then T'Challa's like, it doesn't feel over. Oh, man, rest in peace, Jack Logan. Man, it makes me sad. Anyway, no, of course it's not over. Because what does Killmonger do? He walks up, he holds the Ultron Sentry, activates it, uses the vibranium and particles to steal Ultron's armor, give it to him for himself. It looks really cool with the gold accent to it. Really love that. He's like, look, we can have whatever we want with these stones. We can do whatever we want. Thor, Widow, Thor, T'Challa, your worlds can be saved, and Widow, you can have your world back, and Peggy, you can have your fella back. You can get your fella. I'm like, why did he say, what? Why did he have to say it like that? But they're like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do this. They get ready to fight him, and then Arnim Zola gets up and he's like, yeah, those belong to me. And he pulls the stones out, and they're sitting there having a battle, trying to get the stones from one another. And that's when Doctor Strange realizes we were never supposed to win. We didn't need to separate the stones. So he jumps up and blasts them and creates a pocket dimension, another like jeweled style universe separating them. And that's it. Battle's over. The Watcher's like, yeah, that's it. That was the plan. Thanks, guys. He's talking to Strange like, hey, so you're gonna have to be the Watcher for them now. Like if they break out, you're gonna have to stop them. Whatever. He's like, yeah, I got it. I have nothing but time, so yeah, fine, whatever. I got you, buddy. You owe me one. And yeah, the day is saved. That's it. The Guardians of the Multiverse save the universe. Woohoo! And everyone goes back to their respective universes. Now, when he says that no one else would know the battles, no one would know the sacrifices they made, but they remember. He didn't wipe their memories. When they go back to the universe, it doesn't automatically wipe their memories. These characters go back to their respective universes knowing about Infinity Stones, about the multiverse, everything. Nothing's been erased. So they have knowledge earlier in their timelines, some of them, that could potentially change their universes forever. Like change how they handle stuff that going forward. Like I'll definitely do a side video on that one. But yeah, and then you get Black Widow. She's like, look, I'm not going back to my universe. There's no one there for me. Why do you, we're just stories to you. Like, you don't care. He's like, I do care. You guys are more than just stories. You are everything to me. I watch and see, like, he gets so vulnerable. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. Nice, that's really cool. And then he gives her like, hey, look, you don't have to go back to your universe. Snap. And then he shows up right in the episode 3 arc where all the Avengers are dead, and it's just Captain America and Captain Marvel, and they're fighting against Loki and his army. Loki's finna kill Nick Fury, and Widow's like, oh, so it's a mess here because their Widow's dead. I got this. And she kicks Loki away, takes the staff, hits the Mind Stone with him, takes him out, and yeah, that's it. And Nick Fury's like, you're not my Widow, but I can see you have her spirit. And then the episode ends. And I was like, okay, yes, I like this. I'm glad they did that because one, we never got any confirmation about what happened to the episode, even though I totally called it. I was supposed to make a video about it, of course, obviously, didn't happen, work, I get busy, whatever. But, I was supposed to make a video about which I still do, I still want to do, on my second channel, my storytelling channel, like, finish off some of these universes, like, see what their what ifs are. But, I talked to my friend, shout out to Casual Cosplaying, shout out to Nick, what's up, man? We were talking after the episode, I was like, bro, if Nick Fury has to assemble like a crack team of Avengers, we know we got two. We got Captain Marvel, Captain America. Rhodey is still alive in the universe. And, if, like, because it happens during Fury's big week, and there's an invasion of aliens during that time, I don't think they would have killed, Anton Vanko. I think, like, between... Oh, and then you got, of course, you got stuff like Abomination. So, like, I put together, like, a little team, like, Captain Marvel, Captain America, War Machine, Whiplash, basically, and Abomination. Plus, all the, hammer drones that Whiplash was building, whatever. I think because of the invasion, he would have, and because Tony's already dead, I think he would have been more swayed to be like, hey, look, can you freaking help us? So I put together that little team. They didn't show Whiplash, Abomination, and War Machine, but they showed Cap and Captain Marvel. I plan on making my own story about how that ends and how that continues to go. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, that's the end. And then, of course, the post-credits shows that Peggy's back in her universe. And instead of, like, launch codes or instead of, like, spy tech that Fury needs to find to stop Hydra from taking over, they go in and find the Hydra Stomper from episode 1 with somebody inside, frozen inside, because there's biometrics on the side, so it shows like someone's like alive in there. And even Black Widow's like, yeah, so here's the Hydra Stomper, and there's someone in there for you. And then the implication, of course, is Steve. And I've seen people be like, oh, well, this gonna be like a Winter Soldier Steve type thing, like they've controlled him. Like, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. Let Peggy be happy. Give her man, who's frozen himself and let himself come to the future, and they can be together. Let them get their dance. Let me have my Cap and Peggy feels. Because I swear Marvel's like, oh yeah, you know that Shadow King guy, he really loves the relationship between Peggy and Cap. So we're gonna do everything in our power to make him cry. Like I did the end of Endgame. This one kind of got me in my feels. So it was a really cool way to end it. And of course we're setting up because I think they've said that Captain Carter will be a focal point of the next season, which I'm excited for. So that's it for What If. And I mean, if you couldn't tell by now in the last 3 episodes, I have thoroughly enjoyed this series. And look, I'm excited for more. I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited for more animated series in the MCU. There's nothing that can't be done now because the animation exists. It's literally, there's nothing that can't be done. The videos run a little bit longer as anyway, I've given my true feelings about it, guys. I love this series. If I had to rate it, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It was great. It was great. I will be doing a 10 words or less style review. Probably won't put that out until it's time for Hawkeye to come out because I need a little bit of break. And I want to go back and rewatch all of it and actually take time to make that script. But yeah, these are my feelings, guys. I love this series. What did you guys think about What If? I know a lot of people have had their like mixed feelings about it. I understand. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But what do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys think. If you made it to this end of this video, thanks for staying to the very end. Thanks for listening to me ramble along. I really appreciate it. Leave your comment in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video to your friends. And yeah, the next series is Hawkeye, and we'll be back for that. And I probably will do like 2 or 3 episode reviews for that before I do the 10 words or less. I'm just trying to make sure I have content up on the channel, guys. Thanks guys for sticking with me for this long. I really appreciate it. That's it for this video. May the power protect you. May the force be with you. And as always, guys, make sure you have the best day possible. Bye.